This is the January 2nd, 2025 Wisdom in Letters. How are you enjoying the read so far? Were you expecting to find a poet, a writer? I wanted to say artist, but we know that's just not the case. But there's a want to be artist one day. I like to reference John Ross every time I say that word. Oh, did I say John? Bob Ross. Now, notice how I say John Ross. You know, who John Ross is in reference to, all the same. Let me continue along really with this last point of reference or last thoughts for what you have been reading. And I'm glad that I've had the opportunity to also make me a cup of coffee in the morning because just before this last section, I was able to actually look at a content creator who posts their items on social media. And as you can see, the start of this read was actually still talking about another content creator who had asked a question, which you can see I've already answered it as thoroughly as I could for the context and the time frame that I wanted to get it out. And yet, in these future letters, we will discuss these again. Now, let me finish again with a poet, a writer, and yes, beauty beyond even the physical. In some cases, depending on what mood you're in, it could be even extreme beauty, even beyond the physical. And what do I mean by that? Well, just some of the poetry that you actually read here goes to show what makes a beautiful person. Yes, it's a gimme that you have to have some type of attraction to the person. One, if you plan on spending the rest of your life with them anyway. But you know something, as anyone would tell you, still when you get older and older, you know what I mean? Especially once you get over 100, then maybe it's a little bit harder, you see, for to always be able to put that lotion in the right place or makeup in another place because, you got those wrinkles overlapping around the eyes. Yes, I chuckle on that. Yet, what makes up more than even the physical beauty? You actually have a personality and spiritual beauty that a person has. And this is another point of note, as I mentioned about poetry. I mean, you can, and of course, song and singing, yet poetry as well. When you find out that a person has written a poem, at times, have you ever noticed where maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but sometimes you may say, where in the world did those thoughts come from? I didn't know you had it in you. You see what I'm saying? And this is what we think about at times when we hear poetry. And yet it shows a beautiful side of that person. I mean, if you ever went to like a poetry recital, whether you went and had, which as you can see, as I already mentioned, a cup of coffee in your hand, and just listen to persons recite poetry, recite their thoughts on other matters, even speeches. Yes, over the years, coffee shops have really been just an awesome place for many persons and many writers, because you can accomplish a lot in those coffee shops. And this is the place where maybe some of you would agree as well that there's some, you have probably done some of your best writings up in those places. And then you may have also enjoyed entertainment in the evening times, in some of these places or cafes. Yes, they're abode, they're a business abode, if you will. When you think about abode, you think about a home, but that is the atmosphere at certain points throughout the day of some of these coffee shops. Why? Because early in the morning, there's a lot of hustle and bustle. And then you see people in there who also have that same, it's almost like their personality is they're enjoying all that hustle and bustle. So that's just their speed that they like to see things going at. And yet, when the rush hour, if you will, changes, then the cafe or the coffee shops uh, change into another different mode where you have what I would consider the librarian type of people in there. I look in the mirror when I say that, but still, you know, it's a very nice place. It's a very nice representation of mom and pop and the brick and mortar stores of the reason why we say they shouldn't go away. You see? All the same, there's beauty in those type of places, and you can run into some of the most, again, beautiful people in all aspects, you see, from the physical to the intellectually to the spiritual. Yes, even to the spiritual. That by the time you get through sometimes talking to these individuals, at one time where it's time for me to use the expression, you didn't think about them from Adam, or you didn't think about them from Eve. The next thing you know, you're appreciating aspects of this person, not just from the physical attraction or beauty, but on another level, you see, that even transcends what you are actually communicating with, conversating with at that time. And this is one of the aspects which on my, jamespoeartistry.online website, the Dark Academia Library, my Dark Academia Library, well, as you've already probably read or seen, it actually says Dark to Light Academia Library. All the same, that's one of my creations, if you will, that I enjoy. It's a peaceful mode for writers. You actually can have some classical music going on at the same time where you could play it right from your web browser from whatever I have highlighted as well. So, thank you for enjoying this wisdom in the letters. I keep going back and forth to it. Sometimes I want to say the letters in the wisdom, but no, I think I'll continue to keep it with, the wisdom in the letters. And so until next time, have a very wonderful day. And thank you for the interest. Take care.